Hi, hello, welcome to Vital Biology. This is Padma. In this video, we will learn about class mammals. Mammals have advanced characters when compared with the previous groups of animals. That is why in the entire animal kingdom, mammals occupy the highest position. And study of mammals is called as mammalogy, where each and every character about the mammals they'll study. Such a scientific study of mammals is called as mammalogy. And the word mammalia derived from one of a Latin word, that is mamma. Mamma. So mamma actually represents the presence of mammary glands. And as we know that mammary glands actually produce milk. And these milk helps in nourishing of their young ones. Okay. So such a presence of mammary glands make these particular group of animals very unique when compared with the remaining vertebrates. So that is why, yes, we can say that mammary glands, that is of the presence of mammary glands, is a unique character or a specific character of the mammals. Going towards their habitat, yes, these mammals can live in even an adverse conditions. Like for example, here they have mentioned that these mammals can live in polar ice caps. So here you can see that maximum entire Earth's surface in those regions are covered with ice and there is a very less exposure of the sunlight. But still, yes, these mammals can live in those regions. And next, going towards the deserts. So deserts, as we know that it's a very dry conditions we are can observe, and a very less rainfall and the high temperatures are actually recorded in those regions. But still, yes, these mammals can occupy such places also. Next, going towards the mountains. So mountains are the highest peaks on the Earth's surface, where the adverse conditions are faced by these mammals and they are adjusted and adapted to those conditions also. Next, going towards the forest. Yes, here you can see that it's densely occupied by the trees. Yes, in these forests also these mammals can live. Whereas the grasslands, yes, it is completely like occupied by the grass, and heavy winds are especially the characteristic feature of these grasslands. But still, these mammals can live in those regions also. And yes, the dark caves. Yes, the caves where the sunlight exposure is minimum or even sometimes completely absent also. But still, these mammals can live. So here you can see that in a various adverse conditions in a geographical regions, these mammals can be seen. So the reason behind this is as these animals are homeotherms. We know that these animals are homeotherms or otherwise warm-blooded animals. So these animals have a fixed body temperature and that temperature is maintained by the heat which is produced by the metabolic reactions. And that is the reason why they can tolerate these many adverse conditions in a various geographical regions, yet still they can sustain. So that is about their habitat. And even few of them, they are adapted to lead a aerial mode of life. Aerial means they can live in air, that is a flying mode can be observed like bats. And even few of them, they can live in water, means aquatic mammals also can be observed like whales and as well as the dolphins. Okay, so that is about their habitat. Going towards their other body features. Yes, here their body is actually covered with hair. One more interesting feature of this particular mammal, that is of skin, is covered with hair. And here such a hair we can observe even in this particular animal like lion, fox, bear, cow, and as well as the mountain dog, koala, alpaca, and as well as the hedgehog. So these are the few examples which are representing the presence of hair on their skin. And along with that, yes, here you can notice that they are provided with the external ear pinna. So external ears are seen in these mammals. Yes, here you can see. External ears are observed. So in each and every animal here, external ears or the external ear pinna are actually present. So along with that, okay, along with that, here you can see that these animals are provided with two pairs of limbs. So here the front limbs and as well as the hind limbs. So like this, two pairs of limbs are observed. Okay, the anterior most limbs and as well as the posterior most limbs. So like this, two pairs of limbs are seen. Okay, so once again, the body is covered with hair, provided with the external pinna or the external ears, and presence of two pairs of limbs are the characteristic features of these, that is of the mammals. And those limbs which we said two pairs are especially adapted for walking running, like in the case of the horse. If we will see, yes, they are well adapted for running. Whereas climbing, yes, in the case of the arboreal mode of life. Arboreal means which lives on trees, especially like monkeys and all. Yes, they can climb the trees. As for that purpose, the limbs are adapted. And burrowing nature. Yes, for example, in the case of like rats, mostly rodents, yes, they are actually burrowing in nature. Yes, for that also their limbs are adapted. Whereas the swimming, dolphins, whales, if we will see, yes, their limbs are modified into flippers, which are helpful in their swimming. And yes, obviously flying. If it is in the case of the bats, their limbs are, that is of anterior most limbs are modified into wings, which helps in flying. So like this, their limbs got modified according to their habitat, either for walking, running, or otherwise climbing, or otherwise for flying, or otherwise for swimming. So these are the various functions of the limb structures in different kinds of animals. And going towards some of the other features. So one of the other feature, that is of presence of different types of teeth. So here when we notice their oral cavity, yes, we can see the teeth structure. And these teeth are not in a uniform structure or uniform size. And even function wise also they are different from one to the another. So like this, when they are different from one to another in their shape, structure, number and function, such type of the teeth are actually called as heterodont. Okay, hetero means different in a various characters. So what are those characters? Like in their shape, in their size, in their number and even in their function. So in all these characters, these teeth are different in these animals. So that's why when we will describe such type of the teeth, so we use the word that is of the heterodont type. Okay, so that is also one of the interesting character of these mammals. And some of the characteristic features, that is of presence of lungs. Okay, especially to lead such type of the terrestrial mode of life and according to the habitat which they chose. So that is also based on that, yes, the respiration mainly depends on the pair of lungs. Okay, so respiration is done by a pair of lungs. So that's why here we will say pulmonary respiration. Okay, so the respiration is called as the pulmonary, as they depending on the lungs for their respiration. And going towards their circulation point of view, yes, already previously in a birds, and if we say even in the reptiles also, from crocodiles onwards, completely divided 4-chambered heart got evolved. So that's why even in the mammals also we can see this 4-chambered heart. Okay, 4-chambered heart, upper to auricles, lower to ventricles, which got separated from upper to lower and from right to the left. So that's why they can maintain the two types of the circulation, that is of the one pulmonary circulation and the second is the systemic circulation. Okay, when they can maintain such a type of circulation, that is of pulmonary and the systemic. So the mode of circulation or the type of the circulation is called as the double circulation, where the animals can maintain the pure and the deoxygenated blood separately. Okay, so such a circulation is called as the double circulation. So such a double circulation is seen in the case of mammals, as they are provided with a 4-chambered heart. So that is about their respiration and as well as the circulation. Going towards their reproduction point of view, as sexes are actually separate. Okay, the male individual and the female individual, the male animal and the female animal are completely separate. Yes, based on some characteristic features, we can easily identify the male and as well as the female also. And generally they are like majority of these animals are viviparous. That means they can produce the young ones. But very less are egg-laying animals, means oviparous. So few are oviparous and majority of them are viviparous. Fertilization is internal fertilization. Inside the body, the fertilization process occurs. That's why internal fertilization. And in the case of these particular mammals examples, if we will see, as we said, Yes, very less are actually oviparous. Okay, oviparous. So oviparous, the best example for the oviparous animal is the Ornithorhynchus, which is also commonly called as duck-billed platypus. Okay, so this is the egg-laying mammal. Very important one. So this is the egg-laying mammal. So this is the oviparous mammal, which is platypus. That is of duck-billed platypus, because based on their, that is a bill-like beak. Okay, so which represents the beak of a duck. That's why generally or commonly it is called as the duck-billed platypus. And viviparous animals or the viviparous mammals, examples point of view if you will see. Yes, one is the macropus, that is nothing but the kangaroo. Macropus, kangaroo. The next is the pteropus, that is of the bat or otherwise flying fox. Pteropus, that is of flying fox. Next, camellus, that is camel. Camellus, camel. Macaca, that is monkey. Macaca, that is monkey. Ratus, that is rat. Ratus, rat. Canis, that is dog. Canis, dog. Felis, cat. Felis, cat. The next one is equus. So equus is the horse. And elephas, that is elephant. Elephas, elephant. Panthera leo, that is of lion. Whereas the Panthera tiger, that is of tiger. Panthera tigris, that is of the tiger. Okay. The next examples, aquatic mammals. So these are the aquatic mammals. Delphinus, so that is of dolphin. Delphinus, that is dolphin. Whereas the Balanoptera, that is of blue whale. Balanoptera, that is blue whale. So these are the various examples of class Mammalia. So once again, we'll go with the quick revision of the characteristic features of these mammals. So here, study of mammals is called as mammalogy. The word mammalia derived from the Latin word, that is the mamma, means breast, representing the mammary glands. So mammary glands produce milk and which helps in nourishing of their young ones. And yes, habitat point of view, they can occupy polar regions, deserts, mountains, forests, grasslands, and even the dark caves. And they are adapted well for the water or to live in water and as well as the air also. And their body is provided with, the skin is covered with the hair, and external ears are seen, and in this especially two pairs of limbs are present, which are mainly helpful in the, that is of walking, running, climbing, and burrowing, swimming and flying purpose. And especially these organisms are warm-blooded and respiration is by lungs, and four-chambered heart is present. And sexes are separate, fertilization is internal, and mostly these are viviparous, and few of the exceptions also there for the, that is those which act as a oviparous. And for that the best example is the platypus. Okay, or that is Ornithorhynchus. Whereas the macropus, that is of the kangaroo. Yes, kangaroo is actually comes under the marsupial. Marsupial means as it is provided with the brood pouch. Okay, see, actually these mammals can be classified into like egg laying and which have a brood pouch, that is of marsupials, and the third one are the eutherians, means which have a true placenta. Okay, so marsupium means brood pouch. So these kangaroo like animals, they give birth to the immature young ones and they protect their baby or they protect their young ones in their brood pouch until unless they'll get matured enough, okay, to lead an individual life. So up to then they'll take care of their young ones in their brood pouch. So that brood pouch is generally called as the marsupium. That is why these animals are called as marsupials. So kangaroo is marsupial. And other examples like pteropus, that is of bat or a flying fox, camellus camel, macaca monkey, ratus rat, canis dog, felis cat, elephas elephant, equus horse, delphinus, that is of the dolphin. And along with that, yes, Panthera tigris tiger, Panthera leo, that is of lion, whereas another one more, the last one, that is the Balanoptera, that is of the blue whale. So these are the various examples of class Mammalia.